Where are we at? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And we're there yet. And we're there. Go live. Hello, people. Happy Motivational Monday. Monday. Happy Motivational Monday. So here we are. Making a decision. What the hell? Okay, cool. Here we are talking about silence is a decision too. And well, you know what? It is a decision. Hello. See, most people don't want to admit that silence is a decision. They want to pretend that silence is neutral. They want to pretend that silence is harmless. They want to pretend that silence is thinking, that you're processing something, that you're waiting for the right moment. But you know what? Silence is still a move. Because silence is actually a choice. See, silence is a vote for the life you're going to have to live with. Because every time you stay silent, you're choosing an outcome that you don't have to carry. See, tonight I'm not here to motivate you. We're here to try and what's the word to say? We're not here to motivate you tonight. Tonight I'm here to confront you, more or less. I'm here to let you know that silence has been stealing your momentum, your confidence, your future. And you know what? The worst thing is you've been letting it. See, silence isn't technically passive. Oh, hey, thank you. Silence isn't passive. It's not gentle, and it's definitely not soft. Silence can be very aggressive because aggressively, it shapes your life without your permission. See, when you stay silent, you let fear negotiate your future. You basically feel like you're scared to move forward. You hesitate to make the changes you need to make. You hesitate to rewrite your story. You let doubt in and let doubt make the decisions that you should have made yourself. And that's where silence is the moment where your destiny gets hijacked. It gets hijacked by your indecision. It gets stolen by life. Hey, Alicia. Oh, hey, Carol. Cool. See, the part nobody wants to hear is silence is comfortable. It's the easy way. It's the easy way out. You don't like something? Well, you just be quiet and it'll go away, right? You know, you don't want to deal with it, so you'll just let it go away. You don't want to deal with the bills, so you just like put them in a desk drawer and hide them. You don't want to talk to that person that's kind of like disrespecting you, so you just ignore them. You don't even acknowledge their text message or whatever like that. You just ignore them. Your boss wanting you to come in on a Saturday morning, you just turn the ringer off and roll over, go back to bed, right? Because see, silence is that comfort zone. Silence, it feels safe. It feels like you have control. It feels like you're actually avoiding the mistakes. But you know what? That's where silence suffocates your dreams. That's where your dreams go to die. Because what happens is a lot of us are silent about our goals. A lot of us are silent about our dreams. And that's because of the fact that, well, we tend to, when we're younger, when we're kids, all right, when we're young kids, I'm going to go here. When we're young kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a firefighter. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a whatever. Nobody ever says I want to be a factory worker. Nobody ever says I want to be a desk jockey. Nobody says I want to be a salesman. Nobody says I want to try and work at McDonald's or wherever. I want to work fast food. I want to work at. Nobody says that when they're a kid. Well, maybe some do, but you know what? As we get older, though, we tend to try and put those ideas away of telling people what we want to do because our dreams get smaller and smaller and smaller. Because then when we start saying that, well, we want to try and be a firefighter, they start saying, wow, that's pretty dangerous. Are you sure you really want to run in burning buildings? And you start thinking, well, yeah, do I really want to run in a burning building? Yeah. Or wow, you want to be a doctor? Do you really want to work with all those sick people all the time? No, what happens if you catch COVID? And or do you really want to be an astronaut and you know blow up on a space shuttle? I mean, how many people out there? I mean, I'm from the 1980s, 70s, 80s. I watched the Challenger blow up live on TV. Where that one doctor, we all, and I hate saying it like this, but this is one of those bad jokes. And well, it's been 20 something years. She had two blue eyes, one blue that way, one blue that way, right? Ah, come on, we all said those jokes back then. It's a bad joke, horrendous. But the point is that we stopped talking about our dreams because people started putting them down, and so we put them in the back of our head. We buried them back there, and then something else we're silent about. We're silent about our pain. I don't know about you, but I'm a guy. Men were raised, whereas you're a man. Bite the bullet and deal with it. You know, real men don't cry. Real men don't whine. Real men don't this. Real men don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. You're a man. You're supposed to try and carry it all on your back. Blah, 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 blah. And so, therefore, we don't whine about the pain that we suffer. We don't whine about the agonizing whatever that we have to put through, climbing ladders, lifting 50-pound bags of, horse manure or God knows what. We don't do all that stuff. We don't complain about it. We just go about and doing it. We don't complain about getting 2-3 hours of sleep because we have to get up and take our kids to school and go to work and then come home and be up all night with a sick kid and whatever. We don't complain about that. We just do it. And something else that we're all silent about, we're silent about our own potential. We know what we can do. We know how good we can be. We know what we can accomplish, but we don't. A little story. So after I got kicked out of high school, all right, I I ended up fluffernutting for a while. But then I decided to get back into school and I went to an alternative academy, all right, for boys and for kids that were, what's the word I want to say, um, in the felony degree type thing. Anyway, so I went there and I realized that I was also one of the smartest kids in the class. I was also one of the only white ones in the class too, but we won't go down that route, you know. But the point was, I learned very quickly that, well, gee, they're having me take all these tests because they didn't know what classes to put me into. And so I took that moment to really make myself look stupid so I could have the last 6 months of my school year easy peasy. Yeah, yep. They had me take these aptitude tests so I could try and basically test in my proper grade because when I was kicked out of high school, they wouldn't transfer my whatever it was. And so I had to test my way into wherever I'm supposed to go. Thank you. And in the process, I figured it out that if I tested really low, my classes would be really easy. It didn't work that well. The teachers were smarter than that. But, but that's the thing though, is that we are sometimes silent about our own potential. We know what we can do, but we don't actually step up and do it. Which brings me to the last one, stepping up. Our next move. See, we are silent about what we can do, and we're even more quieter about doing it. Last night I talked about the guy that was going to quit smoking. He told the pastor about how he's going to quit smoking. That his motivational speech. What the heck are you doing, camera? Hi, I'm here. Hooray for AI cameras, right? Anyways, he told the pastor how he's so motivated he's going to quit smoking. And the pastor grabs him and starts dragging him up to the front pulpit. What are we doing? What are we doing? Pastor says, well, we're going to go up in front and tell the whole congregation. And the guy goes, no, we can't do that. That I'll really have to. Exactly. That's why a lot of us don't. Because if we go up there and we actually talk about our next move, then we really have to. See, you've been waiting for clarity your whole life. You've been waiting for confidence. You've been waiting for permission from somebody to do it. And silence doesn't give that to you. Silence gives you distance. Silence gives you the distance that you need from your clarity. And that distance takes you away from your purpose. That distance takes you away from your progress. That distance takes you away from your power. So all that silence does what in God's green earth? So I just got a notification that this live feature a special needs host. Well, I guess I am needy. I give up on stuff at times. I mean, this is just insane. That I don't understand why they limit me or they try and remove some of it. It's like, well, I don't have any websites on there. I don't have any stuff on there. I don't have any of that stuff on there. But yeah, life goes on. As I was saying though, distance, silence is the killer to your dreams. Oh, I see. Haha, that's funny. You got me. You got me. User 258, blah, 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 blah. You got me, man. You got me. That's a good one. All right. I love it. Anyways. Oh, man. So user joined with a username notification. Yeah, I see your notification. You got me, man. You got me. I love it. Anyways, and on his notification, he shared in a text that this live features a special needs host. Please be respectful and kind. This live is moderated. I love it, and I thought it was an actual alert from TikTok. So you got me. Thank you. Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. That's a good one. Anyways, um, as I was going, I am a special needs. My mom always said I was special. Anyways, but see, silence doesn't give you clarity. It gives you that distance. That distance that takes you from your purpose. It takes you from your progress. It takes you from your power. And you've been quiet because you've been scared of being wrong. You've been scared of trying and being taking that step and stumbling. You've been scared of taking that step and being proved that you're not worthy when actually you are. Because staying silent is the only guaranteed way that you think is right. But it's wrong. Because staying silent is the guaranteed way to be wrong. Because when you stay silent, you miss out on so many opportunities that you could take. My mother said it best on her deathbed, all right, that, Obet, live your life regretting the things you've done than the things that you've not done but wanted to do. And just to give you a little idea, that's actually the title of one of my next books that I'm working on right now. If everything goes as planned, it'll be released by my birthday. Crossing my fingers on that one. I'm working on it right now. I actually released my new book, Unkillable Dreams. It's released. It's out there. It's out there. I just haven't. I'm waiting till next week to promote it because I really want to try and get as many people to buy it in 1 week as possible. I'll be honest on that one. I'm not going to lie. That way, maybe I can get like a bestseller status or something like this. But, I mean, it's not going to be like $800 million. It's only going to be like $15. Not much. Make a whole $6 on it. Wow, huh? I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy that Stormwalker Outpost Ranch yet with $6, right? Whole 3 people would buy it. Anyways, see, truthfully though, staying silent is the only guaranteed way to be wrong. Because when you stay silent, you let so many opportunities go past you that you lose out. There's a saying out there that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And it's actually true. I mean, yeah, true. People say all the people are always whining and complaining. They're always whining and complaining and get a bad rap. But you know what? People who always whine and complain always seem to get what they whine and complain about, don't they? No, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And the thing is that we've all withstood enough moments where our silence cost us opportunities. We've all sat around or stood around enough times to watch as our voice stayed locked behind fear. Fear of saying something, fear of opening up our mouth only to see somebody else get the opportunity that we could have had. Fear of saying something for fear that somebody else, and actually watch somebody else succeed in a way that we could have done better. I mean, how many people out there have actually seen people do their job and say, I could have done that better? I mean, heck, if I had a dime for every time I said that, I wouldn't need to try and put a GoFundMe out there to have people help me buy this land. I wouldn't. Because you know what? We've all done it. We've all sat there and watched other people try and step up and do something, and we just sat there and let them because we're afraid to open our mouths. We're afraid to take that step. We're afraid that we might look foolish. We're afraid that we might look like we might not know what we're talking about because we're afraid of gambling. But yet, we'll go and buy a lottery ticket. Oh, yep, I said that. We'll take that dollar and go to 7-Eleven and try and put that dollar out there and buy a piece of paper with a bunch of numbers on it for a chance of being one of like 300 million people to win something. But we won't take that chance of trying to speak up at the next meeting and say, hey, you know what? If we did this way, we might do a better job. Think about it. You'd rather throw money away to some random person and God knows where than actually open up your mouth at your next business meeting and say, hey, we could probably do this better by doing it this way. See, we've withstood enough days where our future waited on a decision that we never made. We could have. We could have. And you know what? We could have succeeded at that. We could have. We would have. We should have. And you know what? We would have something all over ourselves. But we didn't. We stayed silent. And the truth of the matter is, now, right now, tonight, we're going to own that truth. Because silence is that decision. It's been there, but it's been the wrong one. See, you can own the fact that your next level requires noise. You can own the fact that your next level requires movement. You can own the fact that your next level requires boldness. You can own the fact that your next level requires disruption. Disruption to your status quo. Disruption to your comfort zone. Oh my God, you might have to do something a little bit different, a little bit hard. You might have to do something different. If you always did what you've always done, you always get what you always got. Boy, that rolled right off my tongue like I've said that a couple times. It's true, I actually have. I tell myself that all the time. If you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got. If you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got. If you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got. And it's true. Square peg, round hole. How many times are you going to try and fit that square peg in a round hole before you realize that square peg's not going to fit in there? You're going to have to try something different. You're going to have to try a different hole and try a different peg. Simple enough. And once you decide, once you own that decision to try something different, changes are gonna happen. And that's how you become a winner. Not by being perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I hate saying it like this, but even Jesus Christ wasn't perfect. He went inside a synagogue, started throwing stuff all over the place, turning tables over and flipping things out and throwing the stuff all. I mean, he was out there. He was fearless. But you know what? This week is a week that you win. For me, I have less than, wait, 11 days. I have 11 days before I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, on stage, talking in front of about 500 people for 3 days. I'll be at that conference. Over 2, 3, 4, 500 people are supposed to be there. Some big names in the speaking industry are going to be there. And I'm going to be there. And I'm going to be speaking. And I'm excited about it. Because this is the week we win. And it's not that we're going to win by being perfect. And we're not going to win by being fearless. And we're not going to win by being louder than everybody else. We're just going to win by being louder than our hesitation. That's all that we have to do. We have to be louder than our procrastination. We have to be louder than our decisions. We have to be louder than that silence that's inside of us that says, shh, it's okay, relax. It's okay. If we're quiet and hide, the bad work will go away. If we're quiet, we won't get picked on for that job. If we're quiet, we won't have to worry about stepping up and doing any extra work. We can just stay mediocre. We can just stay comfortable. We can just stay lazy. And I don't want to say this mean, but you know what? I'm going to go here because somebody made a comment to me earlier today about burning a candle at both ends, and I said it's better than going around half lit. Which point they said, well, you know what? You need some sleep. And I said, yeah, I will. I'll get plenty of that when I'm dead. Because, see, when we finally do take that final dirt nap, have you guys ever looked at those caskets? They look so comfortable, so everything like this. I'm not in a hurry to get in that nice little comfortable box. I mean, it looks comfortable, so I'm probably going to sleep pretty darn good. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to even go to sleep now, but you know, I wake up in a couple hours. I'm not even ready for that. I got too much to get going. I got 5 people I got to talk to tomorrow that I've got to train. So I'm excited about that. But you know what? Winning starts with a loud decision, not a silent comfort zone reaffirmation, but a loud decision. Because, see, you have to command your chaos. Because where has that silence been costing you? What has it cost you in your life? What type of opportunities has that being silent caused you miss out on? Where have you been quiet where you should have been decisive? Where have you been waiting instead of moving? You got to anchor yourself to the truth. Because once you assess that situation on what the silence has cost you, and you anchor yourself to the truth, your voice will be that weapon. Your voice can be a strategy where your message is pure movement, that you're not gonna be lazy because you have a dream. So act like it. Act like you have a dream. Act like you have volume. Act like you have clarity. Act like you have conviction. Act like you have an understanding that silence is no longer an option for yourself, and that you have a dream and you are not lazy, and that you have a future destiny that you have to meet. Recognize the moments where silence has been your default. Engage your courage and push past the fear of being wrong. Push past the fear of being judged. Push past the fear of being seen and just do it. Because your silence has been protecting your comfort zone and killing your dreams. Where your voice will protect your future. Because there's a moment in every person's life where silence becomes unbearable. Where staying silent is where it hurts more than speaking up. Where sitting still hurts more than taking that step. And this is it. This is that moment for you. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need perfect timing. You need to open your mouth. You need to take those steps. You need to make that decision. You need to make those phone calls. You need to try and write those lists. You need to wake up earlier. You need to stop letting silence be your decision and start speaking up. You need silence to stop being a decision and start acting. You need to stop letting silence being a decision and start winning, because you've been quiet long enough. Your future is waiting on you, and only you can make it, because you have withstood more than you know. You have owned more than people seen, and it's time for you to win in a way that nobody can ignore. It's time to step up. It's time to grab that megaphone. It's time to make your loudest noise yet. Because silence is a decision too. And it's the wrong one. I believe in you. You need to believe in you. I love you all. Thank you for